Yo, what's up, everybody? I hope everybody is doing well. And I wanted to jump on today and speak about how cheat meals can make you fat and are probably making you fat all the time. So, as we look at the buzzword on the internet or the buzzwords in gyms, we hear it everywhere, and you even hear it in consultations. It's like, am I allowed to have a cheat meal? Am I allowed to have a cheat day? Or it's me cheat day, it's me cheat meal, it's cheat this, cheat that. And to be honest with you, somebody that just keeps in it being in the position of like cheating all the time and wants to cheat all the time, in my opinion, is probably on the wrong track anyhow to lose fat in the first place. So what happens is it's easy to set yourself up for success with not going on a cheat meal and getting rid of this. Like, don't get me wrong, what I use with clients is we use things called free meals where we're able to just go out and probably eat with our friends, eat socially, eat probably like a meal, like a pizza, incorporated into a good flexible nutrition plan that still set us up to lose fat and also keep us up. Because the thing about these cheat meals that we're not spoken about, like some of them can go, if you go onto even Instagram and look at the hashtag cheat meal, some of these cheat meals can go anywhere from 1,000 calories to 10,000 calories. And you're probably saying to yourself, like, right, what about calories? But like, I'm allowed, they'll just go off the next day because usually what happens with it is it's usually a Sunday night thing or a Saturday night. And we just think the next day that we'll wake up, we'll go on about our lives, and that 10,000 calories is all gone. I can assure you that lipogenesis, which is the conversion of excess amount of fat on the body, the nova lipogenesis, which is the conversion of carbohydrates to fat, which takes about 3 days. So it's not carbs. Remember that, it's not carbs, because we always blame carbs. But if we're going home and we're eating a big box of donuts and a big box of something else and a big box of croissants or whatever else we have, we just blame carbohydrates. You know, they have to get the blame. Someone has to get scapegoated. Something does. We know as human nature, we like the scapegoat. We need to blame someone. But so just thinking about it, like, and then all of a sudden, like that takes like that will convert to fat. You might be someone that has great genetics. You might be someone that has unbelievable level of body fat leanness. You're well able to probably handle that. But I'm talking to people that, like me, myself, I wouldn't be able to handle it. I know a lot of people that wouldn't be able to handle it. And what happens is it becomes dietary disinhibition, meaning that like we start to restrict everything and it just becomes like a way of like binging. It just becomes a binge, to be fair. And then what happens is this binge takes over a whole Saturday or a whole Sunday. And all of a sudden, we're realizing, like, wow, food is actually becoming a big part of my life. And food is actually becoming a little bit like the number one thing in my life. And what I'm saying is that we have this thing called food porn where we're fantasizing about different meals all the time. And like, we're waiting for this one big day to just devour our faces. And to me, like that's a really, really bad mindset. That's actual really, really bad behavior to be actually thinking about food, say on a Monday or a Tuesday, and like or going into a fat loss plan and saying like, "Hey Ray, do you allow cheat days? When is me cheat day? When is me cheat meal?" And I'm going like, cheat days, cheat meals, they're detrimental. Like they really, really slow a fat loss plan. To be fair, like let's be honest, people say that all right, a cheat meal boosts metabolic rate. It will increase leptin levels in the body. Don't get me wrong, it will increase leptin levels, which is a hunger signaling hormone. But I don't think it'll boost metabolic rate. I don't think it will boost metabolism in any way. I think what will boost is fat gain. Fat gain, because like them 7,000 calories have to go somewhere. There and like going what the typical person will do is they'll do that. Here's what it look like. Right. I want to do a ketogenic diet, or I'm not slagging ketogenic, I'm just saying in general, or I want to do a very, very low carb, or a snake diet, or a fasting diet. There's always some kind of diet. There's always some kind of rigid, really, really strict diet. And like I'm like, why are you going strict? Because like, look what the strict is doing. Right, we set out on a strict diet, and then on the weekend we're devouring and putting all them foods back into our body. Not just not just in small amounts, like having a normal bar of chocolate like a normal human being. Like we're actually doing bags of stuff. We're doing thousands of calories. We're just sitting in and we're just creating this binge. And if you have an overeating history like myself, I can assure you one thing: this is really really bad for addiction. It's really really bad for our emotional health. It brings on self sabotage. It brings on guilt. It brings on remorse. It thinks that we're relapsing and we're going through this big cycle. We feel ashamed of ourselves when we look in the mirror. We're looking in the mirror and we feel like, what did we do? Why did I do this? And because we feel so much ashamed of ourselves, we're like, you know what? Just let's do one more day, and then like we do the one more day, and then like it's a post probably out onto Facebook, or else you call your friend up, or you call somebody up, or you call the coach up at the gym, and you're looking to make this big new change. You're looking to go all in now, nothing out like that, no cheat meals, no nothing, no nothing. Then we're back on it again, and it just becomes a vicious cycle. We set ourselves up instead of just having like a flexible approach to nutrition, which allows you a little bit of flexibility and allows you to have a little bit of like what we call even fun foods, like allows you to incorporate some of your favorite foods into a good nutrition plan. Like what I always would say to clients and to everybody, if it fits your macros but doesn't fit your micros, and when we have all that kind of in check, now we can allow for a little bit of like moving off the plan a little small bit, and probably just having some incorporating some nice ice cream or stuff like that inside of your plan, rather than this like binging all the time. Because like, look what it's doing. Now, the other thing that's not spoken about, or like with it all the time, is like if we go back onto the person that comes in on the very very low calorie diet, it's the diet restrictions and the rigid minds, and usually carbohydrates always get thrown out of the diet. They get rid of carbohydrates. Now, I haven't seen in the last decade that carbohydrates are bad. I always thought that carbohydrates are full of dietary fiber. They're very, very good in prebiotics, which is very, very good for the gut microbiome, which helps transport nutrients and absorb nutrients, and it helps build good and bad, a good balance of good and bad bacteria in your body. And I also thought that carbohydrates contain a lot of like water soluble vitamins and fat soluble vitamins. This is what I thought carbohydrates do. But when I go onto the internet, like I kind of see like that they're this bad thing, that they're not great, that they're terrible. And the way I see it is that it's probably from these cheat meals. It's these like it's these 12 donuts and 12 croissants and a big tub of Ben and Jerry's ice cream, instead of probably just having a scoop of Ben and Jerry's ice cream and just enjoying it, eating it until you're satisfied, eating it until you enjoy it. You have a lot of self-compassion for yourself. You have a lot of body acceptance, and you go on about your day. You go on about your weekend, and you stay on track. Because let's say, for example, right, here's why people will not get results on a fat loss plan, right? They go in, and it's always like they could have like a total daily energy expenditure. Total daily energy expenditure is a measurement of exercise activity, non-exercise activity, which is what the steps that you do every single day, and it's also a measure of diet-induced thermogenesis. Now, carbohydrates, which is dietary fiber, have like probably a 30 to 35% rate on how they're metabolized and how they're absorbed, meaning that they will help the body burn more calories. So this is where I don't see them bad, where the conversion rate of dietary fat is zero, whereas protein has a 30 to 35% rate. Now, we're probably worrying about like where are we going with this? So if you think of total daily energy expenditure, and then somebody sets up, we're on 2,800 calories as our maintenance, and then we go on a diet of 1,100 calories. Now, that might work for about 5 days, because if you're someone coming back in with a background of cheat meals and binging and overeating and compulsively overeating on your own in the house, usually what people will do with these routines is they'll do them when everybody goes to bed, or they'll do them on their own. Now, you probably know all about this. It's like, it's a little plan. It's called a reservation in your brain. Like, you'll have this little plan of like, right, when everybody goes to bed, or I'm going to have a binge. This is what happens. Now, when you come into this, what can really, really happen is you then set yourself up on probably 1,200 calories. Now, not taking into account low energy availability, not taking into account the down regulation of metabolism, the excess amount of the cortisol, which is not a bad thing either, the down regulation of your thyroid, which is basically increases metabolism, the loss of muscle tissue, all this kind of stuff. And we just go in and we're just going, instead of like starting out at probably 2200 with a lot of great carbohydrates, improving satiety, keeping yourself full, being able to eat a good flexible approach to nutrition, having great energy every day, supporting your immune system. You just do that 1200 calorie diet and you're looking forward to Saturday night. And the reason we're looking forward to the Saturday night, you know why, isn't it? Why do we look forward to Saturday night? It's cheat day. It's cheat day. We're getting that 9 or 10,000 calories out and we're just going all in. And that cheat day, some people never come back from them. Some people really, really never come back. That binge turns into Sunday. The Sunday turns into Monday. The Monday turns into Tuesday. And then it's just, fuck it, I'm off track. I'm not going back near that diet plan or anything like that. Like, to me, they're more detrimental than they are positive for people, because a lot would say, like if you look at like a refeed is when somebody is on a caloric restriction for a long duration of time, for probably 2 weeks, and what they'll do is they'll go to maintenance and they'll increase leptin levels, which leptin levels is a hunger signaling hormone that tells your brain basically that you're full. And what happens is it just keeps people a little bit more motivated. It gets people to be able to eat a little bit more food, rather than like having this big huge cheat meals. It's called kind of a refeed. You could do it like probably for a week of practice and maintenance, because the cheat meal aspect is like, it makes no sense whatsoever to anything to do with nutrition or training. Now that's being honest. Because going back to like fat gain and stuff like that, like when you do have these cheat meals and the cheat days, I'd call them binge days. We call them binge days. So when you do have these binges, these planned binges, you kind of have to, you probably see that you probably like have these certain pants in your house, or the certain clothes. You know what I'm on about? I used to call them the buffet pants. Do you ever notice when you are on, say, a fat loss plan and you're on that 1200 calories, and then you go out Saturday night to the buffet with the friends and you eat the whole buffet instead of you just don't stop. You compulsively overeat. And what happens is we go home and we get the heavy pants on, and it's a common thing. I hear it a lot. And we get the heavy kind of tracksuit top on or stuff like that. Whereas you want to sit in and stay in all day, and we start watching Netflix. So it could be a summer's day where we should be probably out enjoying the sun, enjoying everything that we can do outside. We could have some outdoor activities rather than like binging, overeating compulsively, and then spending your whole Saturday or Sunday sitting in all night and sitting in with your pajamas just wanting to eat loads of food. To me, I don't think this is healthy. I don't know about yourself or anybody watching this. I don't think it's healthy whatsoever. The behavior aspect and the restraint is not good whatsoever. The other thing about cheat meals and binging, it can affect your social life. It can affect your sex life. It can affect your exercise. It can affect so many different things in your life that, like, it really goes against you. It can depress your immune system. When you have a depressed immune system, you're going to get sick all the time. Look the way I'm a little bit sick now, but still have to show up and do these videos. But just thinking about that, and just have a little bit of think about that. Like, are you someone that is struggling with cheat meals every single week, and you have these binging and you're afraid to speak to anybody about it? I want you to reach out to me and let me know if I can help. I will not tell anybody what you say. I will keep it very, very confidential. And I promise you that, because I know what it's like. We feel a little bit shame. We feel a little bit guilty. And we feel like that there's no way out. But I can assure you one thing. I struggled with overeating for many years. My nickname used to be Fat Ray growing up. Had all these kind of stuff. And I know what it's like to feel lonely. I know what it's like to feel lost. I know what it feels like, that like we're in the never-ending rat race that feels like we keep starting and we're just going around in circles all the time. I know what this is like. And I know what it's like to be dazed and confused with all the conflicting amount of information out there online that we don't know where to start. And I know that we can be influenced by other people putting all these cheat meals up on the internet or putting them everywhere else. Whereas I can assure you, I guarantee that they're probably doing 90% of whole foods during the week, and they're putting that one meal up to letting on that they have a certain way. Just go and look at Kevin Hall's studies in the last while about like the ultra processed food versus the processed foods. The one that ate the ultra processed foods 500 more calories and gained more body fat and more weight than the people that ate the good whole foods diet. Like, so we're coming to science is kind of coming to great studies based on cheap meals and eating a lot of processed food as it is. So just thinking about that, that can go against you. Now, the other thing I wanted to speak about was that if you keep checking in and keep setting these fat loss plans all the time and keep jumping all the time, what happens is, right, think of it, you start at a certain body fat, right? You might start out at 9 kgs, just say an example, you start out at 90 kgs. You go into the fat loss plan. Now, you're never promised to eat the disorder, you're never promised to eat, you're never told about the body dysmorphia, you're never told about the rigid way of eating, the orthorexia, you're never told about any of that. None of that's there. Go in, you go onto the diet, you do it for 2 to 3 weeks, you lose up to the weight, feel great, you have no cheat meals, no nothing. Before you know it, you have a cheat meal. The cheat meal becomes a cheat day. The cheat day becomes 2 days, and then it becomes all. Before you know it, you go back to 90 kgs, but probably too heavier. This is what the cycle does be like. This yo-yo diet. Yeah, yeah.